Hi, I'm Artis Wodehouse, and today is September 16th, 2018, and I'm at the Piano Exchange in Glen Cove, Long Island, New York. And the reason I'm here is we're shooting update number 3 for the Gershwin project, Gershwin Piano Roll Project 2018. And the focus of this video is going to be on the importance of collecting and preserving Gershwin's original piano rolls. And the reason I'm specifically here at the Piano Exchange is that the owner, Rick Smith, has amassed over many years what is now the most comprehensive collection of Gershwin's piano rolls.
I'm Rick Smith, and this is the Piano Exchange in Glen Cove, New York. We have 500 pianos here in this collection of pianos that are mostly for sale, but some aren't. And the ones that aren't for sale are my own collection of mostly historic pianos and reproducing player pianos. A reproducing piano is a paper roll playing piano that plays with expression, which was made many times by the most famous pianists and composers of the early 20th century. One of the composers that I favor is George Gershwin. So over the years I've tried to accumulate as many of his original piano rolls as I could, which took a long time, many years, probably 40 years of collecting, and I got a fairly good collection of rolls. And by 1989, Artis Wodehouse was using some of the rolls to do her project, the Gershwin CD that came out in the early 90s. But I was never able to acquire all of the rolls that Gershwin made, which number about 141, until the computer came along. Because before that it was a matter of going to garage sales and rummaging through basements and attics trying to find one roll out of hundreds and hundreds of rolls that you'd find. Sometimes you'd find none, sometimes you'd find one, maybe you'd find two, but most of the time it was a very time-consuming, tedious effort to find any of these rare Gershwin piano rolls. Then the computer came along, and that made life considerably easier because now I was exposed to the rolls that were offered for sale everywhere in the United States, in fact in the world. So I managed to increase the collection to the point where I now have, I think, 134 of the 141 rolls. There are 2 that I know that exist that I do not have, and there are 5 that nobody's ever seen that we know of, so they may not actually exist at all. But I'm going to keep trying to find them. And Artis is continuing her project now, 30 years later, and we hope to have this all done very shortly.
I'm extremely grateful to Rick. Rick has allowed me to have access to his original piano rolls in order for me to trace the dynamic line from my set of recuts. Now the dynamic line, or the expression line actually, is, as you can see on this original roll, there's this little dotted line, and there's a little template at the bottom that says P, PP, MP, MF, P. I can't read upside down, but this line goes continuously through the roll, and the furthest to the left is soft, and to the right goes loud. And you can see already that it's changing in this roll right at the beginning. Now the reason this dynamic line here, or the expression line, is here is because it allows the person pumping through the roll to add volume changes that will make the roll performance a bit more expressive. Now when I started the project, I wanted to use these original rolls, but it quickly became apparent that it's far too dangerous to use them because this one is in very good condition, but many are not. And for the repetition practice that I've been doing for the project, I decided we better go with recuts. So the original rolls have been scanned, and by computer technology, of course, and they've been replicated using an actual perforator. But the computer scanning didn't permit for the capturing of this expression line. So I've had to come back and very laboriously take my modern recuts and trace in the line that's right here on the roll by laying my recut on top of the roll and spending many hours doing that. Now, there's this whole question about these expression lines. The expression lines are there on the original rolls, but we don't know whether or to what extent they reflected Gershwin's actual performance. And that's a whole scholarly, historical, technological issue that maybe will be resolved at some point. But what I found is, for one thing, they're on almost all Gershwin's rolls and on all the rolls of most of his illustrious contemporaries. And since I've been pianolizing Gershwin's rolls and rolls of others, I found these rolls to be very helpful, very musical. And they are the leg up that I've been using to start with creating an expressive rendition. So right there, they're very valuable, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to do this here at the Piano Exchange.